At the beginning of the story, we see an unconscious man falling rapidly from the sky. Suddenly, he regains consciousness and realizes that he is plummeting toward the ground. In a panic, he tries to deploy his parachute, but it refuses to open. Just when he is about to crash, the emergency backup system activates, and the parachute automatically opens, slowing his descent. He crashes through several trees before hitting the ground and loses consciousness again. Fortunately, the trees break his fall and save his life. A short time later, the man wakes up and discovers that his name is Peter. Looking around, he finds himself in the middle of a dense jungle with no idea how he got there. Before Peter can figure anything out, another man safely lands nearby with a parachute. This newcomer is a Mexican gangster, and he immediately points a gun at Peter. Peter calmly explains that he means no harm. The gangster is about to lower his weapon when a third man suddenly falls from the sky right in front of them. His parachute fails to open, and he dies instantly upon impact. Before they can investigate the body, someone starts shooting at them from the jungle. The two men run for cover. Peter manages to sneak behind the shooter and disarm him. He explains that they are not enemies and are just as lost as he is. The shooter introduces himself as Nikolai. He says that he was fighting in a war when someone knocked him unconscious, and when he woke up, he was falling from the sky. Thinking Peter and the gangster were enemies, he opened fire on them. As they talk, they suddenly notice a woman aiming a rifle at them. Her name is Isabel, a highly skilled sniper. After overhearing their conversation, she realizes they are not a threat and joins the group. Together, they continue deeper into the jungle. Isabel mentions that she saw several other people parachuting down while she was falling. Unknown to the group, a silent Japanese warrior begins following them through the forest, carefully removing his shoes so they won't hear his footsteps. As they travel farther, they encounter two more survivors fighting each other. Seeing the larger group, they stop fighting and decide to join forces. Soon, they hear someone screaming in the distance. Following the sound, they find a man hanging upside down from a tree after his parachute became tangled in the branches. Peter shoots the parachute cords, freeing him. The man introduces himself as Edwin, a doctor. None of them know where they are or how to escape, so they decide to work together and search for a way out of the jungle. As they move forward, they discover a horrifying area filled with human skulls. The sight terrifies everyone and makes it clear that this jungle is extremely dangerous. A little later, Nikolai notices a strange plant and becomes curious. Just as he is about to touch it, Edwin stops him. The doctor explains that the plant is highly poisonous and that even a single drop of its toxin can paralyze a person. He carefully collects some of the toxin on a knife and keeps it for later. Not long after, one of their African teammates accidentally steps on a trap and falls into a pit. Deadly spikes shoot down from above, but he narrowly avoids them. Moments later, a giant swinging log comes crashing toward the group. They dodge it, only to face another barrage of deadly traps. During the chaos, Isabel nearly falls into a deep spike pit. At the last second, Peter grabs her hand and pulls her to safety. The group begins wondering who could have set such elaborate traps. Looking through her rifle scope, Isabel spots a man in the distance. When they reach him, they discover that he has already been killed. Judging by the wounds on his body, it appears that some enormous creature murdered him. Searching his belongings, they find a journal revealing that he was a U.S. soldier. Peter concludes that the traps were not designed for humans, but for a massive predator. The soldier had tried to hunt it, but failed, and paid with his life. As they leave, the African survivor feels as though someone is watching them. He looks toward a nearby tree, but sees nothing. However, the audience discovers the truth. An invisible creature is indeed observing them, viewing the group through thermal vision.